2 years ago, Fox Broadcasting broke ground on a state-of-the-art technology and operations center in Tempe, Arizona. The center supports additional broadcast platforms and higher video quality. It creates multiple paths of redundancy to ensure system resilience. It enables a proactive, self-healing operational approach, and it moves Fox to a predictive data approach with real-time machine learning. Whether you watch NFL football on Sundays or next year's World Cup, the team at Fox ensures your live streaming experience is delightful every time, anytime, anywhere in the world. And PagerDuty is the central nervous system of Fox's entire operation. Fox remains one of our most innovative customers, and I've been fortunate to work with the Fox leadership team, including CTO Paul Cheesbrough and EVP of Media and Broadcast Jeff Dow. Together, they've led the activation of one of the largest IP-based technology centers in the world, and I'm proud to welcome them both here today. Jeff is joining us live from the control room in Arizona. Jeff, how are you? Tell me a little bit about the room that you're in.
Morning, Jen, and welcome from the sunny and very warm state of Arizona. It's good to see you again. I'm standing in the control room of our new technology and media center in Tempe, Arizona. This represented a $250 million strategic investment on Fox's part, and it is the hub of our digital data broadcast and streaming operations. We service over 200 of our affiliate and owned and operated TV stations, our MVPD partners like Hulu and Dish and DirecTV, and also our streaming partners, Apple, Amazon Prime, and the like.
It was amazing to have an opportunity, Jeff, to see this with you in person a few weeks ago. Now let's bring in Paul too. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you back at PagerDuty Summit.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Paul, can you share how the Tech Center and PagerDuty tie back to Fox's overall digital and technology strategy?
Sure. I'm sure, like many of your probably all of your customers, actually, Jen, we're going through a massive business transformation, and technology is a really key part of that. It's driving a lot of the change, but also enabling a lot of new business models. And a couple of years ago, as a management team, we decided to fast track that and try and shed our legacy systems, platforms, and technologies within a compressed period of time, and also really reinvent the team that we've got working across our organization, and break down the silos and integrate our enterprise teams with our broadcast and media teams, with our data teams, and with our digital streaming teams. And historically, those would all be in different parts of the organization, and we really took a hard look at that and took a very software-centric approach, and we invested heavily in our systems and heavily in our teams. The team today, 60% of the team we've got within our technology organization have joined the company in the last 2 years. So massive change, and a really important part of that was having a very strong horizontal approach to operations across all of that replatforming that we were doing. It would have been a missed opportunity not to have really kind of taken a more robust approach to resilience, speed and agility, but also shifting from that reactive mode that a lot of operations find themselves in, not just to proactive, but to predictive. And we had that at the center of our objectives. And our number one KPI, or OKR, as we call it internally here within Fox, is operational integrity. That comes first before any of the other things, whether it's digital revenues or the products and data that we use. And you know, Jen, I know you remember this moment, but we were looking for a partner to come on that journey with us, and you and I sat down in LA, and you had a great solution for part of that picture, but we kind of worked with you on that journey to get to where we've got to, and it's been hugely productive, and I'm pleased to say we hit all of the deadlines, and we're up and running and live, as Jeff standing in the new facility is testament to that.
Wow, thank you, Paul. I love that Fox has also really pushed us in a roadmap and leveraged event intelligence, integrating your physical, digital, and network environments all together. Now, Jeff, when I was in Phoenix a few weeks ago, you told me a story about a disaster your team averted and how PagerDuty played a key role.
Absolutely. So this is a very cool PagerDuty story. So we had approximately 18 months to build out this building, and it's built to almost military specifications because of our role as a national news, sports, and entertainment network. So we have our own data center in the building, which is fully integrated to a wide array of Amazon Elemental services. And we consider the building, the facility, our data center, our Amazon cloud partnership as one single entity. And as Paul mentioned, resiliency was foremost in our mind when we embarked on this project. So all of the broadcast, digital streaming data services can be serviced out of the facility or out of Amazon, who was a strategic partner throughout this project. And because we had accelerated the construction of the building, we were going live as it was still being built, and we're doing some work in the data center, and one of the trades accidentally drilled through the wall and into a PVC water pipe. Well, we had outfitted the raised floor and underneath the data center in our broadcast operations center with flood sensors from Liebert, Liquitech 460s, I think were their brand. And we had fully integrated PagerDuty event intelligence into those flood sensors, as we have with all of our SCADA and industrial control systems, again, because we consider this as a single operation or entity. And when the pipe was drilled through, started flooding underneath our operations center and underneath the data center. And because of the event intelligence and the hook in with PagerDuty and our BMS system, we were able to get alerted within 30 seconds, and not only alerted of a flood condition, but we actually knew what would be impacted with kind of the blast radius of that potential flood. And in this case, it was some RF equipment for our satellite uplink facility 4 miles away. So that would not have been a good situation if gone unnoticed. But because of PagerDuty, we're able to react and shut that down within 30 seconds. And I think we avoided a catastrophe. And that one incident, I think the recovery cost, had that been worse, we saved much more than we paid for what we pay for PagerDuty. So that was right off the bat, as soon as we went live, great PagerDuty story, and it only reinforces for us the need to tie together everything in your operation, from digital to streaming, the data to your SCADA industrial control system, because they're just an important component for us because of the importance of this facility than any of our technology and cloud systems. So it was a great story, and I wanted to thank you and your company very, very much for delivering as promised.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And you and your team have been phenomenal partners for us and deserve an immense amount of credit for the way you've broken down silos and integrated your building management, connected your teams, and automated your entire response. Paul, I'm curious about the advice you'd have for organizations that are considering putting PagerDuty at the center of their operations.
Well, I think my advice would be to be bold, and a business transformation and a technology transformation without an operational transformation is not just a missed opportunity. I think it leads to probably a poor outcome and an unsustainable position. So, PagerDuty has been that integral backbone and spine. We call it the fabric, the operational fabric within our organization. It sits in front of quite a complex, fragmented landscape of data and other platforms and systems that are there. And it's the place where the data comes together, we orchestrate it there, and then we automate the actions out of it. And Jeff's example wasn't the use case we imagined being the primary use of PagerDuty initially, but it's been, every day it provides value in that framework. And we are truly in this predictive position now where we can foresee issues prior to them occurring or causing the damage and blast radius that Jeff talks about. And we value your partnership greatly, Jen, and thank you for all of your support and leadership.
Well, thank you, Paul and Jeff, so much for your vision and partnership. We're truly honored to be part of this transformation. And you all at Fox are really setting the benchmark for integrating operations in service of your customer and your business outcomes. And we know your company legacy traces back 106 years. You two have led a transformation that will enable Fox to thrive for another century. We're just thrilled to be a part of your journey. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you very much.